Hello, everybody. This is Frogman. Welcome back to Manufactio Nuclear Edition. Last episode, we got some lathes going, so we got rid of some of the old press machines, and I do enjoy a good little bit of a downsize when it comes to machine size. I mean, granted, they're about the same height, and it costs a little bit more kind of stuff, but they do definitely do the job, and they're a lot faster, and they probably use some more power, but hey, who cares? We're at least set up so that we can make wire and rods reasonably quickly now for the majority of what hurts in the base, at least at this point. So I may eventually, and this is going to be a may eventually, look at replacing some of the other machines in here with the rolling machines. But again, rolling machines require a little bit more stuff than what those presses do. So a rolling machine, we can start talking about this real quick. We're not going to look at them today, but let's get over here and take a look at it. A rolling machine is going to require 20 millibuckets of lubricant to make any of the thing that it should be able to make. So like say right there, we're going to need 20 millibuckets of lubricant per sheet, gold plate, whatever, and the time it takes to make it is 4 seconds before you start fooling with them. So it was the same kind of reason why I stuck with plate presses in the other Manufactio Modpack, was because of the fact that it took, well, when you start talking about millions of sheets of stuff, the small amount of lubricant that we're currently making is not enough to keep up with any of that. So it would be one of those where you would build it up, you would set up a secondary one, you'd pull all of the, you'd leave your, basically if I did it, I'd leave the presses in place, the hydraulic presses in place, and then I would put a singular or one or two rolling machines off to one side that would then be activated once we got under a certain amount of a specific plate. So right now, I'm not really worried about it. Right now, what we're kind of working towards and have been working towards, at least for the last little bit, is going to be messing with the Tech Guns drills. So I did in between episodes mess around in my test world, and I have a pretty reasonable idea as to how we're going to make these function. So we have to build a whole bunch of these ore frames, or the frames. We have to build a whole bunch of these drill or scaffolds. We have to build the rods. Rods are in particular thing, and we're going to get into the math. We're actually going to talk about the math a little bit because this took a little bit of me trying to figure it out. So the real ugly part is going to be this thing. I hate to say it. It's going to be this is going to be where your pain point is going to be. And again, the steel rod, I actually probably should come over here and have this give me every bit of the steel rod it currently has. So, because we're going to need a ton of them. So go ahead and make some more of those. There should be a bunch over here. I'm just going to kind of, as we walk by this, we're going to request them and do a few things. This is going to hurt. And I hate to say it's going to hurt. The reason why it's going to hurt is because of the fact that, for one, we're going to have to automate at least. I think I can get away with what we're underneath the base doing right now with these. So these are again, we're going to need to automate this anyway, because I think in the longevity of trying to keep things moving forward until updates happen that I can actually go on planets and mine somewhere else, we're going to need to keep these things moving, which means I actually probably am going to need to build another 2 more of them and get these stuffed out of them, running into them, because of the fact that, well, the time it takes to get a few things. These are fairly expensive. If you think about it, until we're going to make a real quick segue here. Until we can get to the infinite miner usage in these are very expensive to run, because you lose the opportunity occasionally to lose a little miner thingy on it. These guys, they have a chance, like say this one here has a chance to be used up. It's a 90% chance on this, meaning that 10% of the time we're not going to get that thing. This one, there's like the basic ones, the small one is a 80% chance, which means 20% of the time we're not going to get it. These guys right here, click the right button. There you go. Those ones right there, 98% chance. Again, it's like, okay, well, fine. They're kind of expensive to make. For what it's worth, they're kind of expensive to make. So when we get to that end point where we're going to have the singular one here that will get used and produced 99.9% of the time, I'm still going to have to keep those things around, but it means I should be able to get a usage out of those as the way they go. However, we all know how RNG goes in Minecraft. That 99.9% of the time, or 99% of the time, will almost always be the 1% going away every single time. So I think actually that changes as we go through these, right? No, it's always 98, 99. So you're always going to have that chance to lose this stuff. Now, It sucks. It's fine. We'll figure it out when we get to that point. The reason why I'm kind of pointing it out, like I said, is because I think going forward, if I want to try to make any massive amount of stuff without having to run around out in the world, setting up miners and doing whatever, we're going to probably have to automate those, at least for the main stuff. So let's talk about tech gun drills. Tech gun drills are a infinite way of getting ores, or should I say infinite way of getting resources out of material. And I kind of want to look around because of the critters. They've been a little thick lately. Let's go take a look at this ore cluster that's right here. So this ore cluster will give us a decent idea as to what we can expect from a drill. So if I go like this, I think there was a little bit under U, right? Let me kind of play around here just so we can see the entirety of this cluster. I want to look at the math. We're going to look at the math. We're going to look at the understanding of how these things work based on, well, the way that at least the configuration has been set for the mods for where we're at. So what's interesting to note about a tech gun ore drill is that an ore drill is only going to be able to touching blocks, not adjacent blocks. So looking at this right here, this one here will have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of ore that are all connected to each other. This is adjacent, and this is adjacent. They're not touching. The corners, this corner section right here, at least from my testing in a test world, messing around, this will not touch this, so that means a drill sitting on top of this, regardless of its radius, will not touch that block. Now, it may be that it's different here, maybe it's different here, but testing in a test world, playing around with this, the only blocks that I'll be able to mine with a singular drill are going to be those 4 blocks right there. So this deposit's pretty garbage. This one, if you're looking for something that you want to try to be able to mine for a decent amount of time, that's going to produce something reasonable out of it, like these are, even with the top tier, that'd probably be about, I don't know, maybe 150 ore an hour, 150 ore an hour out of this, which is not amazing. So we can go back over here to look at some of these other ones that we have under the base. And I think I'm going to at least attempt to work with, I think it was this one. I think it's this one. I haven't quite counted that one completely, but looking at it, if I hook to it right there on this face, this direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, maybe 15 all connecting blocks. Now, like I said, they have to have a full face connected to them, so 14 or 15 blocks. We should be able to mine this one reasonably well. Actually, it might be better off to put it right here, this direction, so that it can see everything. So it won't touch those, it won't touch that one, and it won't touch that one over there. And it sure as heck won't touch the ones down there. But so like 15 or 16 blocks worth of coal. What I'm looking for is a steady stream of slow input on coal. We really needed just a constant supply of coal because we're powering most of this base using, well, the furnaces and all that, using end all be all coal. So we need to be able to try to make this work. Now, the one that's over here, if I recall, where did he go? Did he go hop off and go do something else? This one, I know it's a little dark over here and I apologize, but we can kind of look at this one a little better because it was actually buried in a cobblestone pile. So again, this line is all connected to this line is all there, so that it'd be 6 on those 2 plus 7. That's not connected to anything. 8, 9, and then maybe that one right there. So 10, 11. So we could probably get 11 blocks out of that one. Again, depending on the size and the radius of what you're looking at, it's all about the amount of blocks that are touching each other. So like say for a really interesting one is going to be this one right here for a rare, not a rare resource, for a regular resource. I think if I remember correctly, those aren't connected to anything. And this one's over a void hole, so I'll have to be really careful when we play with it. But this one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now looking at it again, 13, yeah, it's going to work. Even though there's a hole here, and like say this would be a hole, so that's adjacent to that, it's touching it right here. So technically it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that might be worth trying to hook up to a regular drill. Now, the 13 is the interesting number. The part of a tech gun drill that is the most important thing to know about as far as being able to harvest all of the connected blocks. You have to have a drill rod in your drill for every single connected block. If you don't, you won't be able to mine all of them. So for this, we'd have to make a drill that had 13 drill rods connected to one of these sides. So like here we could dig this back, right, get it all kind of laid out, and then stick even just a baby one, just a short one, a little teeny tiny one here. I won't be doing anything less than a base of 5x5. We will not be doing anything less than a base of 5x5. This might end up being like as much as we can get up and down. So from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means we could do a 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be actually we get 7 out of that, I think. So the issue is going to be, again, you'd have to try to figure out how to make things work. Now, it was pointed out, and thank you very much for pointing it out, that you can lay the drills any direction that you need to lay them. So I was concerned that I would have to build them on top. No, I can build them this direction, I can build them that direction, I can go underneath and build them. Like, say, for this one in particular, we would probably build the drill to connect to that interface right there and go that direction with it, because it would then be radius in the directions that it needs to go. So let's go ahead and start fooling around with the next part. Alrighty then, so I went and grabbed all of the steel rods that we have over here, and we're going to have to start playing around with some of the other things that exist. So actually, let's just go ahead and take those out of here. In order to make the parts, and I'm hoping I have enough parts for this, at least as far as what I have planned, drill parts. Every 5x5 one we're going to be building is going to require 18 drill engines, which means I need 18 of those, and I need a whole bunch of those Invar gears. So I'm just going to go ahead and, well, grab everything that we've got laying around. I think I have Invar gears up here, don't I? I thought I was making those. Okay, they're just color-coded weird. So I'm going to grab a stack of those. I'm going to go ahead and get 18 motors. Engine. Can I get 18 of you guys, please? We're just going to start with something that's fairly simple and easy to understand because of the fact of how this is going to work. So drill rod is also going to be what? Those are the gears, steel plates. Just give me a stack of them. I don't care at this point. No. Steel plate stack, go, and I'll need those. So this should go over here. Not this. Where's the? I know there's one in here. It's just sometimes it's easier to craft right here. So give me drill engines. Okay. Thank you. Actually, I need 2 more engines. What did I do? What are we short? Oh, I'm short the... let me see. I need 2 more sets, so we need 8 more of those. I'm just trying not to go too crazy. I was going to go ahead and set up the auto crafting on these, but I think what we're going to end up doing is we're just going to make them as we need them, because they're, again, kind of expensive for what we're going to be getting out of them. Then we still have to build a drill for it as well. So let me go ahead and build a bunch of parts here while we wait on this kind of stuff, and then we can talk about getting these things set up so we can make them work. So drill controller, I'm actually going to have to go find the thing for that, but let me get a little bit of work done here. Okay, so we should have all of the pots to do the controller. That's pretty simple, easy. That's a project table recipe. Very done. All right, so we should have everything we need, and I've kind of already got a model set up over here, or at least a model of a thing, and it's nice and dark over here now. So let's plop down a light or two so we can kind of get an idea of what this is going to look like. This is not the full size. This is not what we're going to try to put on these. I'm going to try to do just this, at least for the most part, and the reason why I'm going to do this for the most part is so we can kind of understand what's the other object behind how this thing is going to work. So unfortunately, I'm unable to place in the drill rods, but we can, for that matter, because there's no one of the stipulations is you have to be able to place the drill rod on a ore deposit in order to be able to actually put it down. But this technically will be able to touch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of ore. And the big problem is once you go past a singular one, or I should say a 3 by 3 by 3. So once you go past something that is that big around here, right here, you have to do at least 2 layers of engines in the top. When you go to the next size up, it will be 3 layers. And like I said, the 7 by 7s, they're 3 layers of engines, and the 9 by 9s are 4. So take that into account when you're building the height on your structure, your length, whatever it is, that you're going to have to, if you want to mine 13 different things, you have to add in, 3 or 4 more layers depending on how big your miner is going to be. Now, the beauty of the reasoning why I'm going to probably just stay with these for now is that I'm going to put it on things that I don't need a massive amount of. I just need a steady trickle of, like coal. Coal has just been one of those things where I keep running out of it because I keep having to run back and forth between all over the place and moving miners around. Again, we're slowly eating up all of the good stuff that's around as far as the other deposits. So a 3, or I should say a 5 by 5, this 5 by 5 distance on the bottom will give us a reach of a radius of 2 from the center, which means from right there it'll touch all the way out to here. So long as that miner can see anything underneath of it that is from the center out, that means it's going to pick everything from the center out. So everything down here that I've seen so far that we're going to be fooling with should be within that radius. Should. If not, it won't really matter. The other thing that's very important to notice, again, like I said, is that you have to make sure that once you go up of a certain size, that your motor will continue to get larger and larger and larger. So let's go downstairs. We're going to clean this mess up. We'll build it, and we're going to put it on one of these ones down here, and we'll see how the rest of this works. So let me rip this down, and we can go on to playing with the next part of it. I just wanted you guys to kind of see what it would look like as a structure completed. I guess we can say completed. Once it's on and running, the controller, which is kind of sucky, goes right there. Now, it's not going to be happy with me because it doesn't have anything that it can actually tuck to. Yeah, it's like I don't see any ores, I don't see anything, but the controller goes on the top of the engine or the back of the engine or wherever it goes. So let me chop this down and we can move on. Okay, so I think we're going to start playing with this one. And since it's kind of lined out fairly easily this direction, we'll just kind of lay it down, well, that way. So I got to make a little bit of a spot here, but again, no big issue. We can for sure make something work. I really, like I said, really need to get some coal moving. I understand that it's probably going to hand me coal ore, in which case we're going to have to process that. That's no big problem. Where is he? He's over there. Is that a jumpy or a regular creeper? That's a regular creeper. I ran out of bullets. I need to go make some more. 1 second. All right, so in order to make this the distance we need, we're going to have to make sure that it can fit in here, and it should actually just barely. I don't even know why I'm trimming this off. I'm kind of glad that we can lay them on their side because it allows access, at least for non-flying characters, a little bit more to the controller, because the controller is where you're going to take all of the parts out, where you're going to feed it power. So we're going to try to get to that block, I think, right. Now it's going to be that block because of this one where it's at. I think we're going to try to attach to that block right there. So if I start with my drill rods, we'll just go ahead and do this. We're going to have to go down a little more. One more. Hopefully. That should work. Oh, I'm gonna have to, like, again, I love playing underneath pretty much gonna be what is gonna be a void hole base eventually. But anyhow, we can get this sorted. Let's see, get those out, get that up. All right, so I want to put all of those down so I know exactly how long this is gonna be. So I'm only gonna mine 7 of these blocks for right now. I think we said there was like 15 or something, whatever in here. So this again, me testing to make sure that this is actually gonna work. And it should. I mean, I don't know why it won't. The math is there. We'll put that down. We'll put this over here so we can see what we're doing. So that's the basic part of it. You figure this section out. Now you know where you need to go. The other problem is we're going to have to go down. I think I'm actually okay to continue building right now. So the base is going to be something about like this. Try not to fall in the hole. And then we take the structure, the ore frame, and I hope this is enough. I probably didn't make enough, like me always not making enough. That should work there, there, and there. Yes. Yeah, I think they're good. I'm going to need to make access to get out of this hole. Oh, God. I think this is the one that's got water in it, so if I do fall in, I'll be okay. One of these has got lava in the bottom of it, so it's not amazing. So, looking at this now, our engine is going to be right here. So, I need to put this down so I understand where this is going to be, and we need to move even further. All right, and then you can do this. It has to be a square or a cuboid or whatever you want to call it. You do that, that. So that's our engine. The controller will be right there once we get to this point. These blocks will go clear out to the end of the engine, just like this. And the big problem is that you have to put these structure frames in, so you got to kind of pay attention to what are these scaffolds. Scaffolds are allowed to go clear up to the edge of that, so I think we can go right there. Yes, cool. Let me go ahead and flesh the rest of this monstrosity out so we can take a look at it once we get it done. Nope, 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 nope. You're almost there. Okay, so with all that being built, this is going to be kind of what it's going to look like for right now. Structure-wise, this is 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should function just perfectly fine. The larger the drill, the more power it's going to use, so do keep that in mind. It's also going to be able to mine more per minute based on the size, based on what you're also going to be able to put in as far as these go. So we do have multiple styles, shapes, and colors, or at least there's, what, 6 different types, or 7 different, and 9 different types. If you're going to be mining something that's incredibly hard, you need to make sure that this is what you're going to be using. So there is a difference in here when you're playing with the drill heads. Drill heads of a, like, say, an iron, just think of it like that. It's like iron and then diamond level. You can see the levels. It says like steel ore grinding levels. The level number in there means like this is going to be able to mine, or it should be able to mine coal no problem, but it, would not probably be able to eat diamonds. So like say diamond ore or whatever you can find it, that moves up as this goes on through. So certain things have a little bit higher level. We're not concerned about that right now. I was going to say the only real reason why you would want to run a larger drill for, or should say a higher level of a drill core drill is that it will mine more material faster. So if we look in here and we click on it, now we've turned it into a drill. It has its multi-block and it's formed, and we can look in the actual thing here. It says it requires a medium drill. Now a 3x3 requires a small drill. A 5x5 requires a medium drill. 7x7, 9x9 require large drills. So that means I can get away with going quite a ways this direction with this and still be able to mine a lot of that coal. So we toss the drill in it. It will now give me a number per hour of how many ores I am capable of mining. So it's looking at a drill size now. The drill size now is basically stating that 9 right there is how many ores we can technically touch. So of the 9 that are over here, I think in this 15, whatever they were, of the 9, hey, look at that. I forgot I can do that. Of the 9 that are right here, so like those 8 or 7 or whatever that is, 6 plus 3 more is what it can, or 2 more, whatever, 4 more. My math is terrible today. It's 3 more that it can attach to. So anything that's down there that it's technically touching meaning that all of that other mess down there, it's essentially just going to touch those 9. But then again, we can go, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can add some more length to this as we go. What I'm looking for is about 400 or 500 per hour, I think, on what we're going to get out of here. So we toss that guy in here. The next step we need to do is give it a little bit of power. And, well, this is probably going to be loud. So how much power is that going to take a minute? Okay, that's under the level. Then you can go to work. And if we grab our box, you can just barely hear the noise. I've got the stuff turned down. There's a big, gigantic drill cone thing that shows up inside of it, and it goes to work. And if we click on this, we should already have one. So, again, it's incredibly slow. Incredibly slow. We can make it faster by making bigger ones of these, better ones, but it will use a lot more power. And at that point, I will have to do something else. It will also burn fuels, so we can pump liquid fuels into this. So like the diesel fuel that's up here that we're not using, or the gasoline, for that matter, I could pump gasoline into it and it would run just perfectly fine as well. I'm going to go ahead and just turn you off for right now so that you can fill up your buffer. That's not going to really make much of a difference. Just that, just kind of annoying that that's sitting there. Man, that's a lot of power. So that is going to be the drill that we're going to use. So now we need to figure out where we are as far as what's right here. And I need to probably... Where are my boxes? Let's grab a box real quick. Now where is my box? Box, pipe. So I'm going to go ahead and plumb this into the system. I'm actually a little afraid because I'm going to have to go ahead and set up some kind of processing for this. And that's going to be in a grinder, so that I'm going to have to go set that up somewhere as well. But that's one of those things we haven't done yet. So, you know what? We'll just let you sit here for the minute. And I think what I'm going to do... Again, not based on any kind of a tutorial, not really trying to make a tutorial for this right now. We were just trying to get it sorted out, and I was trying to share some of my findings as we kind of played with this a little bit. But I do foresee a need to use it in a few places. But again, because of just the sheer slowness of this drill, that's per hour. So what is that? 400 and... Where's my thing? 40... Yes, phone, I know. Thank you. 406... divided by 60, that'd be 6.7 ores per minute, which is not amazing, given. Now, it's infinite. It's not something that I have to worry about playing with. It's not something I have to worry about continuously doing other things like the other drills that we have out here, moving them all the time. It'll just sit here and make ores for us. So I think what I'll probably do in between episodes is I'm going to go ahead and extend it the distance that it needs to go to catch all of these blocks. And I might likely go ahead and build another one right here on that, just for the slow trickle that will come out of that one. And I may slow trickle this one over here. My major interest, again, kind of silly on this end of it, my major interest for this thing is going to be redstone and coal. So I think that's where we're going to put them to use for. So for now, I think we've got plenty of time. I will see you all in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.